Good evening, and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign. My name is Monty Martin, running our campaign as the Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Wilhelm von Kessel, the human swashbuckler rogue. We're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Rudy Whitaker, the shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joe Gorman playing Wrath, the ASMR Warlock.
What is so funny? Thank you for joining us, silly folks, once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, a big welcome. We are the Dungeon Dudes, and when we're not laughing our butts off, Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. Check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also join us on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. And you can also check us out as an audio-only podcast on your favorite podcasting platforms as well.
With that, let us return to the shadows.
Drakkenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the ruins. We were wrong. Insidious horrors have crept out of the shadow of Drakkenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that accursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. When last we left our heroes, following the trail of the missing Druids and the legendary unicorn Charlemagne, whose help is needed on the next leg of our heroes' epic quest. You need the thing to get the thing to do the thing so that this thing can happen. Still following with us? Very good. Our heroes have entered into Dreamland. A mysterious realm caught in a mysterious realm beyond the mortal world. A land of fairy creatures, a land of nightmares, a land of twilight and shadow. Exiting from the barrows and the echo of Dreamland, our heroes looked upon a frightening scape in the twilight skies above, where streaks of eldritch power converge upon a vortex of energy far distant on the horizon, where there they are certain where the city of Drakkenheim would stand in the corresponding mortal world. The landscape of the Dreamland surrounding you as you look down from the precipice of this high cliff is dizzying. The geography, the same, but also not the same. Where once the great lake of Kesselholm was a crystal waters, now it is like a bowl of thick, soupy mist. The forest of pines that surrounded that composed the Kesselwald here are massive, yawning and reaching oaks, which bear all manner of strange phosphorescent fungi upon them. Even the creatures and sounds, though reminiscent of those of crickets and other birds, have a chirping and twittering unlike any you've heard upon the mortal earth. The great moon trees of the forest are like that of the moon tree that was in the mortal world, but there are so many more of them, bearing their strange glowing fruits, dotting between the other oaks and the other strange fungi that grow here. The Druids circle, though strangely the stones, the menhir stones that surround the Druids' barrow on the above ground, the stones glow here with a soft blue light. and looking upon them, the light that they emit and the light upon their surfaces is almost normal to look at, as if the stone exists simultaneously in the mortal world and in the dreamland, a binding anchor between worlds. As you look around your surroundings, you see once again the enlarged form of Bruce, this large six-legged cat-like thing with writhing its body composed of writhing tendrils of midnight indigo, its eyes glowing with eldritch light. It regards you with its hypnotic form and looks to you, Wrath, patiently as it purrs.
Bruce will be our guide.
Well,
Just like these stones are an anchor, Bruce is sensing this place. He will know what to do. I trust him.
I must say, this is, honestly, our first time actually meeting Bruce in any sort of capacity that might make sense as to your relationship with him. Am I able to speak to him? I look to the cat creature and I ask, like, you can talk to us and we can talk to you here in this realm.
Yes, you could always talk to me, though, but you never cared to listen.
Well,
You will learn many lessons.
conversations work both ways, and all the time that I spent arguing with you about Bruce, he could have spoken up, but I just remembered I don't need this. I have two eyes here. This is great.
And I'm fabulously young. I forgot. Well, Bruce, it's nice to make your acquaintance in what I assume is true form, real form. Do you just pretend to be a cat in the other world?
This is but a fragment. The smallest paw cast adrift through the worlds. You, mortal, are my conduit here. You can draw upon the planar winds and call me forth. Relish in it. Gaze into my vision and see the spell. Relish in it. And should you master this spell, well, whilst you walk in dreams, you may yet have the strength to call upon this form when you return to the waking world.
I would be honored, Bruce, to be your conduit and to call upon you when the time is right. I will do what's necessary.
Come then, and I will tell you of my many names, for I am the thing with the writhing. You feel the flash of comprehension in your mind as you are opened up to the knowledge of a new spell. This spell is Summon the Thing with the Writhing Tail. I've given you the sheet, but in brief, this is a 4th level spell that you can upcast as well, and it summons the thing with the writhing tail, which I provided you with the stat block of it. When you summon it, your familiar, the familiar here. If you learn the spell in the mortal world and cast it in the mortal world, it will use your familiar as the component to summon it. And then you can, during combat, you can control the thing with the writhing tail, but otherwise I will roleplay it when it is summoned. I've given you the stat block for it, and you can command it as such. It disappears when dropped to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. It acts after your turn, and it obeys your commands otherwise in combat. Otherwise, if you don't issue it any, it will just take the dodge action. So There's a few fun powers, and we can reveal those as we get to use it. Well, whilst you are in Dreamland, you may cast this spell without using a spell slot, and it does not require concentration. Should you master the spell, though, you will need to use a spell slot to cast it in the mortal world, and you will need to concentrate on it. But here, it is more powerful due to the planar energies here. And so it has been cast for the time being.
I can feel your power, Bruce. I feel it flowing through me. The knowledge that I seek, it all came to me all so quickly. Yes.
He made you smarter here.
And smarter than I was is hard because I was so smart and good at magic that now I'm even better.
Bruce, may I approach you?
Give him treats.
I pull out some of the leftover fish people, and is it still in my bag?
What?
It's like freeze dried.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like a jerky.
It's dream jerky, and the
Dream jerky. It's better than regular.
the cat regards you and looks it up. That mere sustenance here is of no use to anyone. Here in Dreamland, thought is as drink, and memory is like meat.
Give him one of your memories.
Is that a yes? Would you like to nibble on a memory, or I just would like to ask you a question, and I'd like to approach to do it.
You may.
I walk up and I bow to Bruce as I approach.
The cat doesn't seem to care that you bow.
Okay. This is going well. I approach and I lean in close to Bruce, and I go, Wrath is easily manipulated. What are your intentions with my friend?
The creature, it purrs and says, no more ignoble than your own. Cast adrift in one world or another, we wanderers must band together to survive. Whilst this one survives, so might I.
So the relationship is symbiotic, in a sense.
Your language is insufficient.
For what you know of me, Wilhelm.
Oh, are you listening?
Yeah, I hear it all.
Oh.
Plus, you were pretty loud.
Oh.
You didn't whisper. Really good hearing. Everything you know of me is Bruce. And everything you know of Bruce is me.
So if we are friends, then Bruce is friend as well.
Correct.
I turn to Bruce.
I have been friends to many in my time. I have had as many friends as I have had names. To Alice and Carol, I was Cheshire. To the sorcerer kings of your world, I was called Bast. Others knew me as Bobastus. The elves called me Kate Sith. I have been friend to many.
Well, I mean, rule number 97, never argue with the wisdom of those who know more than you. I will say that you do have a certain poise and grace about you that I respect, and as long as you mean us no harm here, then by all means I accept you as our guide and as part of this team, as it seems you always have been.
There are many things that wish you harm, as you walk the dreamlands. There are many nightmares here. You should count yourself lucky that I am not among.
I do.
Thank you, Bruce, for looking out for us.
Really setting the tone.
Now, I do got a question about, I think you know most about this dream world compared to us. Do we need to, in order to get out of here, come back to this spot, or like leave breadcrumbs or something to find our way? Or is it once we find the Druids, we should be good to get back with them?
You are bound up in the spell of one who has cast it. The spell then, when ended, it will deposit you where you are on Earth. For this is Earth's dreamland. It too goes by many names. The elves called it Tir na Nog. Others it is Nevermore, Otherland, sometimes Feywild. And from here a traveler may pass to many other worlds and dimensions hitherto and yonder. I can sense the pull. There, it beckons to the south. It washes up against the elemental chaos. And in the deepest shadows, a mortal may find themselves passed into the shadowlands of Nod, though there they will never return. And in that great yonder, the cat gestures towards the vortex. One might pass into the space between worlds, for that dread place is scarred in all dimensions.
Alright, so avoid the shadows, avoid the vortex, avoid the south. Am I missing anything?
This place is bewildering to me, and I'm going to defer to Wrath's better judgment here. This seems more your realm of knowledge. I mean, you and Bruce being in commune with each other for so long. I'm trusting you who trusts Bruce here.
I'll have to make my decisions with everything I've known about this world. But this is my first time here.
Righto?
I am a visitor, as are you. I would ask Bruce, this creature we seek, this unicorn, it makes an impression in the real world. Is there an impression that it makes here as well?
You have seen, of course, the stories that told back to you. This creature was called to that place you call Drakkenheim. And when it came back, for it is itself a creature of the Streamland. And just as creatures pass to and from Earth's dreamland upon the sphere they walk upon in corresponding dimension, when it passed back into dreamland from mortal world, it returned within, and it gestures again to the horizon.
Well, it does sound like we are making a trip to Drakkenheim? Dreamenheim. Drakendream?
Do we know that... We know Charlemagne was pulled from the mortal world into another place in the mortal world. Was that in Drakkenheim?
That's what
They said.
That's what seems.
We know that, right?
Yeah.
And so if he was deposited back in the dream world, just like we would be pushed from this place back into
Where
the
he
mortal
was-
world, wherever we were,
Yeah.
he must be close to that place.
How long has he been deposited back in this dream world? Like, could have moved from that spot, no?
No,
Unless-
but it would be a good place to start. You're right, though. We don't know the timeline.
I mean, it's the only lead we have. We're not just going to go wandering dream world looking for a unicorn in any nook and cranny. So the best place to start looking is where we have a lead. There's always a trail to follow. And our trail right now leads us to Drakkenheim.
To recap, from what you learned from studying what little information the Druids left behind, their hypothesis was that something had trapped Charlemagne in that area.
Yeah.
Something traps a unicorn. That sounds scary.
Well-
I mean, Drakkenheim's dangerous enough on, the mortal plane. I can only assume in this scary dream world that it'd be just as scary, if not more.
The implied scar that city holds between all realms of reality means that the dangers we know of in Drakkenheim are no less dangerous, if not probably more, in all realms of reality. So, despite my best efforts to avoid going to that dreadful hole of a city, looks like we get to go to the dream version of it anyway.
Well, I say we start. I mean, we only have so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need anything getting at our real bodies and trapping our minds here. and
Yeah,
such.
we cannot delay. It grows closer to the full moon.
I say we keep our guard up. We move at not a slow pace, but just keep our wits about us, all right?
Mortal, be warned. As mortal creatures, you are bound to dreamland through your own psyche and consciousness. Watch that your thoughts do not wander, for errant thoughts find life their own in dreamland.
So think about nothing.
No, don't think about nothing.
Think about
I'm gonna live in the moment.
There's a moment where like even like you know how like a cat's like hair sorts of stands on end at the mention of thinking about nothing, it like arches its back and says, "Do not invoke nothing."
I will not. I will only invoke sunshine and rainbows.
I'm a person.
You would bring the sun down upon us.
Look at that tree, everybody! Look at the tree! Look at the
It's
tree!
a tree.
Mushroom.
We're walking.
Mushroom,
I am
tree.
My friend.
I am a man.
Hey, friends!
We're just gonna keep walking.
Everybody, don't even just think about the road in front of you.
I'm just gonna keep saying my name in my head over and over again.
I'm gonna say your name in my head as well.
Oh, you're gonna invoke me.
Oh no, dreamy. Oh, this is complicated.
We'll get through it.
Also, know this. For you are in you yourself, your body sleeps in the mortal world. So you will find no sleep here.
I won't get tired.
No, what in mechanical terms, you can't take a long rest here.
Oh, that's worse.
Ah!
My reduced hit points love that.
Yeah, you can take a short rest. But because you're in Dreamland, you are already resting.
Well, I say we make
Super
haste.
resting. We
Yes.
find the unicorn. We either find the unicorn or find the druids.
We have
Our
to.
goal is the unicorn.
The only way we're going to survive.
Charlemagne can take us out of here and reverse what is happening to me and help free Ricard of Chromac.
I will be specific. You can take a short rest.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
It's all quite simple. We need to find the unicorn to help the druids, to help you, to also help Rickard of the Steelfangs, to recruit the Steelfangs, to storm the castle, to kill the Countess.
He's a
to-
vampire.
who's a vampire, to take over the castle, my rightful home, root it out of the delirium in the basement, return that to the academy, get the Hooded Lanterns their help, bring them back to Drakkenheim, and
So that we can fight off the Illyrians that are invading.
yes, and find the solution to what the delirium is. Simple.
Simple.
Step 1.
I don't have that many fingers to count the
Step 1, find a unicorn.
steps.
Easy. There's supposed to be one here.
Yes.
I have that many fingers.
Yeah.
that I can-
And
On-
he's
One unicorn, that's what I'm going to focus
trapped.
on.
So we can find a trapped unicorn.
Step 1. Onward.
All right.
And we had a long rest?
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure that all.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, better.
I start heading towards the vortex that is Drakkenheim.
Okay. You
The
look up
city.
at the moon. It is unchanging as you traverse down the cliffs and along the misty banks of the dream version of Lake Dray. Through the Castlewald. As you journey through this forest of phosphorescent trees, the echoes of the journey that you took in the mortal world through here touch your minds. I'll have each of you roll me a d6.
4.
6.
3.
Okay. Wilhelm. As you crest the moor and look through the wooded hills, silhouetted over the next hill, you see a rider looking down upon the three of you. It is silhouetted against the light of the twilight, so you can discern the horse, which is a normal horse. It's not glowing with a fiery mane. And there is a rider seated upon it with their hood drawn up.
I reach out and I grab Rudy's shoulder and I ask her, do you see that?
Do I see it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't I see it? It's right there.
We're in a dreamland. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure.
There's a rider with a hood.
Should we call out? Should we hail them?
I don't know. Could be a creature that's going to come out of the hood and eat our faces. Isn't that what we're warned about?
Could be a druid.
We see you watching us. Who goes there?
The rider takes the bridle of the horse, kind of flicks it with his wrist. The horse turns around and walks down the other side of the hill out of sight.
Concerning.
I'm
Follow him?
gonna start to sprint up the hill to try to get to the top of the hill
Okay.
with
Oh.
Bruce in tow.
In
Thing with the wagon.
So we can change our appearance in this dream world ish.
Some it still has to be you.
Oh, okay. No.
Like in order to change your appearance into just whatever you wanted, you would have to change your concept of yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow Wrath. As
Yeah.
he takes off, I notice that he's taking off, and I take off right after him.
And I do so as well.
Okay, you rush up the hill to the other side. You can each give me a perception check.
15.
14.
19.
19. You come up the hill. There is, on the other side of the hill, the woods come back round again. And there are the embers of a small campfire around which several logs are arranged. Looking around, the ground appears undisturbed. There's no sign of the rider or the horse.
The fire still has glowing embers?
Yes.
No
Glowing
hoof?
a purplish orange.
Hmm.
And there's like a few logs set
Yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like hoof tracks or anything.
Give me an investigation check or survival, whichever you wish.
We'll go with investigation. 13.
You examine even the spot where you know the rider was. There are no sign of tracks.
Is there heat coming off of the embers?
You need to walk down to the fire.
Oh, okay, it's done.
Mhm.
This dreamland is puzzling. I don't know if we're encountering dreams or spirits or something else.
I mean, it might be leading us in the right way we need to go.
Do you believe it was the rider that attacked us?
Dulong?
It seemed much kinder, and it didn't frighten me.
Well, remember, things are in the real world. There's going to be different in this world, so could be something embodied in the real world and what it's like in dreams.
This is just an absolute stretch, but perhaps if it was our rider, perhaps the version of him on our realm is a tormented spirit, whereas this is him at peace.
If it's even that.
If it's even that, it could be a completely different rider.
Is the campfire even real?
Is
that just a remnant of the mortal world? That's
Let's go take a look.
okay.
And I walk down towards the campfire.
Arranged around the campfire, of course, there's no sign of any bedrolls or bedding around, but there is a campfire and a handful of cooking utensils by it, and a satchel, and a few other bits and bobs, some pieces of bone, and torn clothing.
Strange. I look through the satchel.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
16.
Opening up the satchel, it's mundane, as in it reminds you of the satchels that you saw in the Druid's Barrow. And as you look around, you see that on the satchel is one of the Druid's runes.
Oh, this might be one of the Druids.
One that it reads Scory, is the name. Inside are several herbs, some mistletoe, and other spell components for Druid spells, as well as a wand made of ash and yew wood. It is woven. The two pieces of wood are woven together impossibly, and set with a sprig of mistletoe.
I feel really bad if I take this, so I say we leave it here.
I agree. Examining the fire, how recently was this fire abandoned?
Make an investigation check.
2022.
The fire was abandoned suddenly. Something attacked whoever was here, and they ran. Judging by the clothes and looking around, someone didn't survive. A body was dragged off into the woods.
Can we see where the body went? Can you see where the body went?
Am I able to follow a trail of...
Yep. There's two distinct trails. There's a trail of running footsteps that run into the woods, and then there's a trail of two bodies being dragged.
We have to go after it. This could be our ticket. This could be one of the Druids.
Are we going after the one that fled, or the ones that might be dead?
There's blood with the trail of the bodies.
How much blood?
Like for Dream World, is it a lot of blood?
A lot of it is soaked into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Make a medicine check.
14.
Enough that there's the survival of whoever was being dragged is doubtful. Like, it's enough blood that by looking at it, it's hard to tell if this is someone who was, if this person was alive when they were dragged off, they would have needed immediate help to survive. But it's entirely possible that like looking at the amount of blood, it could have just been a corpse being dragged off.
Does this all seem recent? Like, I know the time in Dreamland works different, so even though the Druids have been gone...
There's still fire in the embers and the blood is still wet.
Okay.
I mean, they might be in bad shape. We'd have to get there now if you were going to help them.
Or go after the running.
Or go after the footsteps that run away.
Okay, let's go after the running.
Beyond that, there's the satchel. There's a few. There's what remains of a boot, some torn cloaks, and other things. Do you want to take any of these things?
I'm gonna take the satchel, but keep it in its condition.
I'll just shove a cloak. Maybe not the boot. The boot can stay.
Okay.
Just because we need to wrap around someone.
Carry a boot.
Okay. So you have the satchel with the U on.
I'm just gonna take it, the whole satchel.
Now, did the what I assume is the person not being dragged, are they going towards the area with the blood?
No.
They're going away.
Opposite directions.
Our informants need to be alive, not dead. If this is a druid that survived,
Agreed.
it can tell us more information.
Rudy, in your best estimation, you've seen lots of battle, you've seen lots of injured soldiers. What is the likelihood that the people that were dragged off are alive?
It's less likely for sure. I mean, I'm torn here. You either got, to help every man, that's down, or you look at that and you say they're gonna take the ones that are gonna survive.
Let's chase the blood when we look for closure.
But if we chase it now, we could save them.
We could save them potentially, but we could also run into a mighty amount of trouble that we could avoid.
Rule number 99, whenever given a difficult choice, the option that helps the most people is the correct choice.
2 bodies?
There are 2 people dragged off. Now,
our indecision is killing them. Let's just go.
Let's go for the blood.
Let's follow the blood.
All right, follow the blood.
Okay. You follow the bloody trail. It leads into the thick of the forest of oaks, moon trees, and phosphorescent fungus. The air is paradoxically both cold and humid at the same time.
Yes.
It is the smell in the air is that of mildew and smoked hickory, with just a hint of truffle. The slightly sweet, acrid sort of scent. There are motes of dust and pollen that hang in the air, glowing in the twilight, just keeping everything in dim illumination. And almost certainly eyes in the boughs of the trees watching you as you walk through the wood.
I move. We gotta go quickly.
Gotta go quickly.
If we're gonna find this thing, if you say it is as close to death,
at least to know if it's something we can help with. If we can't help, we scurry on out of there.
scurry.
I continue to track the trail.
Okay. As you follow the path, okay. So you continue along the path. What are each of you doing as you follow the trail? You're following the path.
Yeah.
Rudy, Wrath, what are the two of
I'm
you
doing the tracking.
I'll be at the back,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, almost like doing circles, like keeping an eye out in all directions.
And I'm right behind Wilhelm, with Bruce to the side.
Okay. What are you doing to help?
I'm casting guidance.
Okay. Wilhelm, you can give me an investigation or survival check, and Rudy, you can give me a perception check.
Guidance gives me a D4.
Ba-ba booey.
8.
And I'm going to use a luck point.
You rolled higher on the D4.
Oh, there's my luck point. Turn that 1 into a 2. Nice. So lucky.
We're not going to survive.
Hold on, this is still not a terrible roll. 13. Thank you.
Okay. Each of you can roll me 2d6.
I love that.
Dream world!
And tell me which one is lower.
4.
2.
Okay.
And a 6.
1 and a 6.
Oh, I got a 4 and a 5.
Okay.
2 and a 4. 2 and a 4. This is going great. Lucky is the best
We're
feat.
gonna die.
Wait,
in
did
the
we just
first-
roll our D6s with disadvantage?
I realize you can do that now. You can
Dream
apply
world.
advantage to any, or disadvantage to any die. Okay.
We're all gonna die.
I like the bodies we're following.
If you die in Dreamland, do you die in real life?
Yes.
We'll find out.
No, they told us. The cat told us. Bruce told us.
Yeah.
He did.
It was one of the first things he said. Were you listening? Did you not listen to the orientation?
There was a giant cat with a writhing tail in front of me. I wasn't paying attention to what it was saying.
This is why you have this rule book, but you don't listen to the rules of everything
Okay.
else. Yeah, me?
As you proceed forward, you do not notice at first the thickening of the thicket around you, the increasing size of the orbs of light that follow all around. As you follow the trail, gradually it trails off. You lose the thread of it, and you find yourselves deep within an ever darkening wood. It is in this moment, Rudy, that the glimmers of light around you, that you realize that you've been pulling the group slowly towards the light and off the trail. And in the moment of darkness, these lights shine brighter than they had before. Roll for initiative.
We have made a mistake.
We have made a mistake.
Oh, I get advantage on initiative.
Come on.
Okay.
We shouldn't be nice in Dream World.
This is what we get.
Maybe my rules don't apply in Dreamworld.
Reverse them.
I did okay though.
Player.
There's never a trail to follow. Do not help anybody.
Just wander aimlessly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go in, guns blazing, no plan.
No plan.
Rudy?
17.
Okay. Ra?
4.
Wilhelm?
18.
Wow.
Okay.
Late to the party. Got a
that where
4
we
in my
Um,
I'm kind of guessing.
And-
Is there a certain
Yeah.
direction you want us to be?
put yourselves in the middle.
Ah. You had the middle. Rudy had the back.
And then, yeah, Bruce was off to either the right or the left. It can be the opposite, yeah, for fun.
Okay. So, what I'll have you all... Rudy, you made the first perception check. You're surprised. You two can both make perception checks with disadvantage, because you were working on other things.
I should have been paying attention.
With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Love it.
I got a 5.
I also got a 5.
I'm way too
Okay.
distracted by the light.
You are all surprised.
Surprise. Wilhelm's surprise.
I was just holding your back, casting guidance over and
I
over
was
and
looking
over.
at the ground, and then Rudy's like, I think we're lost. And I'm like, I don't see the trail any. And then, yeah.
Look,
It's really
Okay.
dark. It's really
these
dark out
lights
here.
are so beautiful.
There. Okay, so Wilhelm, you're surprised. Okay. There is a crackle, of light, as the motes of light surrounding you all flutter and crackle to life. Glowing orbs of radiant, eerily radiant energy crash through the woods and smash into each of you, appearing almost out of nowhere.
Wrath, careful with your light spells.
It's not me.
Oh, no.
Rudy, you get attacked twice, getting a 22 and a 22 to hit.
Shield.
You're surprised,
Oh, I can't,
unfortunately. Yeah. So Rudy, that's going to be a total of 16 points of damage from the 2 hits. Wilhelm, I get a 21 against you for 8 points of damage.
Is that an attack that I can...
Again, you can't use
Oh,
your
right,
actions because
right.
you're surprised. You're
We
surprised.
just went over this.
Surprise.
Yeah. Actually, no, you can because you still beat them on initiative, so you can. But Rudy and the 2 of you can't.
Then I'm going to half that damage.
And Wrath,
Mm-hmm.
I also get an 18 against you
Nice.
for a big old 8 points of damage.
Wait a second.
Is it special damage?
It is lightning damage in all
Ah.
cases. They appear and all of them are
I have a weapon of warning.
so you couldn't be surprised.
Me and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised.
Oh, what?
Okay, so
Drop that now.
so in that case, it's on you to remember these things. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna let you uncanny dodge that, but it's too late now
Yeah.
to play it back, unfortunately.
cool.
Yeah.
You weren't
so
carrying your crossbow.
Yeah.
You had it in your
It was
backpack.
in the thing.
You had
It was
in
like
the, and you're like,
blinking.
stop it!
Yeah.
It's just another light. You're just
It's
so
on silent
focused.
mode. Silent mode.
Yeah,
Put it on silent.
yeah. My apologies. I can't remember everything that I gave you guys.
I remember that it gave me advantage on initiative, and then
Yeah.
just now I was like, wait, doesn't it do something with surprise as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But in that case, I will even it out a little bit by revealing one other creature. A flickering gout of witch-like fire appears in the tree above, flickering with otherworldly flame.
Oh my.
Wilhelm, it's your turn.
All right, so this guy's based with me. Is this guy based with me too?
As long as they're within melee range, they're like if they're within that, you're in their melee range.
Okay.
Melee range.
I'm going to attack the one that's hurting Wrath.
Okay.
Actually, because that way we're both. I can use my thing. So I attempt to stab the flame. Hopefully that works. I get a 10.
The bobbing ball effortlessly glides out of the way of your blade.
I then turn, pulling out my crossbow, which is yelling at me, and I'm like, "What?" And yeah, and I attempt to shoot, getting much better. 23,
That is a hit.
There you go.
and that I will use my sneak attack on. That's going to be 21 damage.
Your shot find something, and it's the sound of shattering glass, as if you'd hit a glass bottle. There's just this crack, and the light goes out as if you'd blown out a lantern.
Ooh.
Cool.
I've discovered the weakness. If you hit them, they die.
It works.
Oh, that's great. I'm great at
The
hitting.
others, darting in and out. That one presses the attack on Wilhelm, getting a 12 to hit, and the other two on Rudy, getting a 14 and a 10 to hit.
No.
Okay. They, the creatures then scatter, and thanks to their flyby, they do not provoke opportunity attack.
Hey.
How far do they go?
Rudy, it's your turn.
How far do they go?
About this far.
Okay. I can. Yeah. I'm gonna go after. This one right here.
Okay.
And I bring Houdini with me, and we're gonna hurt this tiny flame. 27 to hit.
It's a hit.
7 damage.
Okay. You hear, as you bring your axe into it, it's like the sound of hitting a lantern. Like this clanging, odd metal clanging when you hit it.
I'm gonna keep trying to hit it. 14 to hit.
The second blow, it quickly darts out of the way.
Oh. 26 to hit.
Into the path of the next one.
11.
As the final blow comes in, it shatters into a million pieces.
Nice.
And I need to keep remembering I get 2 plus D6 hit points for killing something.
Yeah. All right. The witch light flies down, and seeing you all in a wonderful line, it will fire a bolt of eldritch lightning.
No!
So everyone's in the path of that, so everyone can make a dexterity saving throw, including Bruce.
Okay. Bruce Silver.
Nope. 5.
26.
Bruce got a 21 and I got a 5.
So Bruce and Wilhelm succeed.
Haha, I roll with Bruce out of the way.
Houdini, hold on. Woo.
See it coming.
Houdini got a 12.
So it's 22 lightning damage on a successful saving throw, a 22 on a fail, half on a success.
Oh, jeez. That's scary.
Evasion. I duck.
Houdini is dead.
Houdini is fried.
Surprise, surprise.
And then it flies back up into the tree.
Hey.
Wrath, it's your turn.
Get him, Bruce. And Bruce runs up the tree with his climb speed. And
Now, technically, Bruce always goes after you.
okay.
Yeah,
Then
but I'm not too worried about that. So basically, the way I'll rule it is you have to complete your turn. Either Bruce completes his turn or you complete your turn. Whatever order is
There's
fine.
no overlap.
No, but yeah, you can't overlap between their turns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce is I'm still reeling from lightning.
Yeah.
It hurt. Bruce is after him, this creature. He runs up, bases with it, and he reaches into his mind and casts Mind Whip.
Nice. So, do you want to read out how we worded this power?
Yes. So the thing physically,
Psychically.
I can't read. You should have read this. The thing psychically lashes out at one creature it can see within 5 feet. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 46 psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It only gets one of the 3.
Intelligence saving throw. So I get a 9.
So it takes 11 psychic damage.
Okay.
And it can take a reaction, and it's got to choose action, bonus action, or move on its next turn.
Oh, that's rough.
And then Wrath just starts shooting. I'm going to hex it,
Okay.
and I'm going to take a shot. Now, I don't get advantage,
No.
but I get an 18.
It's a hit.
For, oops. I have to actually roll this one. 13 damage.
Nice.
And second shot, 26 to hit. Come on, big money. Oh, gosh. Another 11 damage.
Okay. The barrage of psychic and eldritch force lashes into the flickering form of this creature, and there's kind of like the sound of like a clinking glass chime, but all in dissonant tones as it is attacked.
Are we attacking a lantern in the real world? That's kind of what I'm
Wilhelm,
thinking.
it is your turn.
All right, I'm not going to make the same mistake. This tree, in order to get up it, would be an act of climbing. There's not enough steps of branches for me to nimbly...
Correct.
Cool. Now at least I know what I'm getting into. Wilhelm, seeing the cat, mumbles to himself, I have cat-like reflexes, and attempts to make his way up the tree.
Okay. So you're going to climb up the tree.
I'm going to try.
Give me an athletics check.
Yes, sir. I get a 10.
Enough to climb the tree.
Yeah!
Where did I... Oh, what? Oh,
You put yourself in your dice tray.
oh in my dice tray. Dang it.
That said, because of the height of the tree, I need you to use your cunning action to dash to get up.
I use my cunning action to dash.
Okay.
I yell cat-like reflexes, and then... and I, like, pull myself up, and I'm heaving. And I see cat, like, attacking and all of that. So I pull out my rapier, and I'm like... On guard, ye fiend! And I stab at thee.
Yes! I've always wanted you and Bruce to fight together.
It's a glorious moment. 24 to hit.
Nice.
Especially in the treetops.
Yeah, me and
Feels
Bruce in the treetops.
Nice.
23 damage.
What happens?
So I finally get up there. I see Bruce like I see the psychic blast knocking in the head, and as it looks dazed, in that moment of daze, I manage to find purchase with my blade in whatever the weak spot on it appears to be.
You go right through for the head, and underneath the crackling fire is a wicker doll of straw filled with shards of glass. The light goes out in it, and the doll collapses.
Ugh. And I kick it off the tree. And I turn to Bruce and I give Bruce a nod of camaraderie.
The other wisps retreat back into the wood.
Well, that could have gone worse.
Bruce nimbly climbs down the tree.
I make it halfway down and then fall. And land on my butt.
I just have like burns and shards of glass in me. Like,
Oh, that lightning bolt almost got me.
did we actually follow the blood? Are we closer to helping anyone?
I look around. Is there any sign of the trail?
Give me an investigation check.
$15.
Yes. Pick up the trail again. You've got it takes you what feels like 3 hours of searching before you find where you were on the trail, but find it again you do. Still the eyes regard you but you are more mindful of the flickering lights.
I'm gonna take some ointment.
I'm gonna drink a potion.
Need some ointment.
Do potions work
okay.
the same?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I was worried that they'd have some horrible side effect.
They do the opposite.
Ah!
No. Yeah, I guess, do we keep following the trail?
We have to.
We have to. We've come this far. We fought lanterns and glass and straw dolls. There's nothing we can't face now.
Gotta keep going, and time might feel weird here, so who knows? It still might be not too long before what happened over at the campfire happened.
We could have all the time in the world to help Wrath, or he could change in 5 minutes. We don't.
It's probably closer to the 5 minutes, so let's focus on that. Let's make it priority.
Yes, our priority of helping you has turned into now chasing wounded druids.
Okay.
I wanted to find the alive
You
one.
traverse following the bloody trail in the dark tunnels of this twisted woods, around the prodigious oaks, the moon trees, and the phosphorescent fungi. As you make your way through what few aisles there are between the trees, following the blood, you hear a fluttering sound within the air, a whipper-whisper, like a sort of noise. Bruce, the hair, the tendrils, more accurate to call the fur tendrils, again stand up on end and on Bruce's hairs, and and you pass arches of great mossy stones that mark a perimeter of a strange little village where there are several burrows with canvases, moss and fungi, and kind of the mushroom tops coming out of the holes and the barrows of the trees form little balconies. In the darkness, large, round, yellow eyes regard each of you.
I guess we're being watched.
Does the trail lead here? Is this... My friends, our wounded druids are here. Somewhere. Perhaps in one of these hovels. We are being watched.
What did the bag say, the satchel?
The satchel,
The name of the druid.
the name of the druid on the satchel was Scory.
We seek Scory. He is with us. You will return him to us at once.
There is
I say out
a
into the...
fluttering sound that echoes from the trunks of the trees, and a burbling noise, and you see darting about the boughs of the trees are slippery brown bodies of attached to the wide circular eyes, scurrying creatures with small claw-like hands reaching their way up and down the trunks of the trees and in the light of the phosphorescent fungus, you can see their strange marsupial-like faces with writhing, with that end not in a snout, but in a mass of writhing tendrils and tentacles that flutter as they speak and mutter and all of a sudden, all of these creatures emerge across the boughs. There must be hundreds of them. Their eyes looking out from the holes in the trees, sitting on the boughs of the trees, looking at you. Several of them are holding gourds or cups, and they are all various colors of browns and grays, looking at you in the deep darkness of the wood.
Naturally, we've walked right into the middle and are entirely surrounded, I presume.
There is still a path of exit.
For
they are in the trees.
Yeah.
They're not on the ground.
I kind of eye for like the easiest way to leave by if need be. And I nudge these two and I'm like, rule number 2, always know your way out. And I kind of am just like, is there a path that seems like, are they kind of...
They're in the trees.
Yeah.
So you could still go between the trees
Yeah,
on the
okay.
ground. They're not on the ground.
Okay.
These creatures. They continue to flutter, and it's a cacophony, a chorus of speaking betwixt them as they all regard you. A few of them reach down the trunks and like peer at you at eye level. They move almost the movements of their bodies, these lanky and long forms, are not unlike a squirrel or a monkey.
Didn't Bruce say something about some zoogs or zogs or in the moon trees?
I look at
Bruce is hissing.
Oh,
Are you,
What is it, boy?
you were doing a great job. Go ahead. Use your commanding voice. Use your...
I want to look at one of the closest creatures to me, and is it within, I guess I want to ask, is it within 30 feet?
Yeah.
I reach into its mind, and I want to show it a picture of a unicorn.
Its eyes go wide and it flutters about, and you feel the response. You feel it can't respond to you. Sorry, and it scampers off into one of the tree trunks.
What did you do? Did it work?
I tried to communicate the idea of a unicorn.
and it ran away.
Bruce, are these creatures a meal, or are they worth entertaining?
Bruce hisses back. These vile creatures are my enemies. They are the Zoogs. They normally dwell on fungi, but they have a taste for meat. They sometimes flutter in and out through the unseen spaces of the world to wander your mind, where they find unsuspecting prey. But they do have knowledge amongst their elders.
Do they have any rules or laws that you know of? Is there any way that we can parlay with them?
Only amongst their sages. Hope that they bring one soon.
What do they eat normally, other than meat?
Give me that fish jerky.
Is it fungus?
Fungi.
Oh, give me... summon fungi.
Moment passes and the Zoogs go quiet. And slinking out from one of the honeycomb of the holes in the trees comes several large, fat, and gray zoogs. And it speaks. You who walk with one of the cats, why do you enter our forest?
We seek Charlemagne. He is from this world, but he belongs in ours. We will return him. Do you know this name? Do you know?
Speak of the unicorn.
Yes.
It has been many long cycles of the moon since we have seen the unicorn. It does not come through our woods. But you are not the first that I have heard to come seeking it.
Yeah, the Druids. There were several Druids that we are also looking for. We believe 2 of them were dragged off here. Do you know anything about that?
There is a fluttering amongst the zoogs, and the elder speaks a name in their, what seems like a name in their fluttering language, and a young creature, smaller one, comes forth, and it flutters something back to the elder, and the elder flutters back at it. This goes back and forth for some time before they say, the elder responds, "This young one has seen something. We will tell you. But what do you offer us in return?"
I think I have an idea. Is there fungi around?
Oh yeah, like there's fungi all around in their forest, yeah.
And they love fungi.
Yeah, but the fungi is right there. Like some of them are picking at the fungi and eating it as they're watching you.
Do they like meat more than fungi?
I do see where you're going, though.
Your forest is thick. We can make it thicker. And I want to produce the plant growth scroll that we found earlier. Upon this parchment is the means to have abundance of forest and fungi.
There's a fluttering amongst the zoogs of excitement at the mention of their food supply being increased. And the elder responds, "Yes. We see this is a great gift, a boon that you offer upon us. Our young ones will have great bounty for some time if you would give us this. What wisdom would you offer us to temper this bounty with?"
The Druids are the ones that may guide you with their wisdom. You must show them to us alive. They will take us to Charlemagne.
You offer us wisdom in the future, but we must wait upon the bounty you have offered as well. What wisdom do you have? What secrets can you share?
I have a book of 100 pieces of wisdom passed down by generations of my family before me. It is a sacred tome. It must remain in my possession, but I would be willing to sit with you, the elders, and let you read upon this book of wisdom.
He is very wise. Very wise.
You would. What is this tome of lore called?
The Hunter's Code.
You would share with us the wisdom of the tome of the Hunter's Code.
Indeed.
You have offered us wisdom. You have offered us bounty. Yet you bring an enemy into our village. What peace would you offer us?
We both look at Rudy.
You're up.
Guys, peace is not my strong suit.
As a warrior, you fight for peace. Maybe.
You know what? I will, as a warrior, there's nothing more dangerous from a warrior than their weapons. I offer you, and I take out 2 hand axes and I present them to them. And I say, have my weapons, my hand axes.
There is fluttering amongst the Zoogs. This is a weapon of fine quality. In exchange for these weapons, we will tell you. Here in the boughs of Dreamland, a warrior must not be without a weapon. But if you seek out, while you're here, there are legends told of the Crescent Moon Axe.
Crescent moon. Axe, huh?
Here in the boughs of Dreamland, you may find this warrior's prize. Where you have offered up your weapons to us, we will. You should seek this out as a fine payment.
All right. Any
And a
direction?
strapping Zoog takes the axes, and looks upon them and is very impressed. Did you give them your hand axes?
Hand axes, not battle axes. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways.
You have disarmed our greatest warrior. You have the knowledge of the generations of our royalty, and we will provide sustenance for years to come.
The elder says, these druids, they traveled near our woods some cycles hence. They were beset upon by a terrible creature. The Night Hunter. Night Haunter. It fell upon them in the night. They fled, they ran, but some of them fled.
The trail led us here. Is the Night Hunter frequent to these parts?
The Night Hunter kills and feasts on thought and memory, not upon flesh. And so our young Zoogs found the dream flesh. It was quite a feast.
How many?
2.
So they're dead.
The Zoogs flutter about. And nod.
Is this the first encounter of the dream flesh you have found? Or has there been others?
This is where they came this way. The others, we did not see where they went.
But when you found them, their thoughts had already been eaten by the Night Hunter. And so they were already gone.
The elder flutters a bit and says, when we find dream flesh in our woods, we must all do what we must to survive.
Sounds like they were already a goner.
The Zoogs flutter back and forth. We found they did have, however, if they were your friends, one of them did have these, and the Zoogs come out, a pair of boots.
Are they nice boots?
Yeah, they're really nice boots. They're made of supple black leather and embroidered with silver trim webbing.
We'll take his possessions.
Kick off my old boots.
Right in front of
I want to try. I'm gotta make sure they fit.
Yeah, are they the right size?
The boots slide on gracefully. You feel the magic in them.
Yeah.
These are the most comfortable boots I've ever worn.
They are quite comfortable.
Nice.
What are they?
Well, you'll have to take time to identify.
Oh.
No, I'm just happy to have comfortable boots. I've been wearing those old kickers for years. This is great.
They
The
don't mean
magic
any...
is that they're the most comfortable boots you've ever
They feel magical, and I mean, wow.
They have insoles.
Yeah. It's just actually like early insole
Yes,
technology.
in fact, these are slippers of spider climbing.
But you have to give me your boots for 10 minutes to find that out. And so you have to wait on a log with your feet, like your sock feet.
Or I'm just
waiting.
going to find that out by accident the next time I climb a tree.
No, I want to see you climb like this.
That scene, like, duh, duh, I'm doing it. And then I start swinging. No. Like,
That's great.
Incidentally, the U wand was also magical, but you guys didn't bother to look at that.
No, that's going to come later.
We still have it though, no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping to find the druid that it belonged to. I didn't just start using his stuff.
well, I guess.
Literally in front of everyone. Just take off your boots and just put this. Yeah, we're gonna really miss our friend. Oh yeah, these are really comfy.
I have rules for this. I'm looking for them.
Now,
You guys can carry on. I'll find them.
do you know, since our other friends perished at the hands of this night haunter, any chance you know which direction our other friend went?
There's more fluttering amongst the Zoogs, and they say there was a campsite. There were footsteps, but none of the Zoogs followed.
So we follow them from the original
Follow the blood.
campsite.
Went for the
Cool.
blood.
Do you happen to know which way that campsite is?
The Zoogs offer to lead you back.
Oh,
That
that's
way.
nice.
Is it the campsite we came from?
Yeah.
And any direction on which I can find this crescent moon X?
They point to the direction where Kesselholm would be.
Boys, we should stop at the castle before we make our way, just in case.
Rule number 65, the dead have no need of trinkets, and I put the satchel over your shoulder.
I'm gonna check out that magic wand then. While we're walking back to the campsite.
Yeah, this magic wand, this druidic wand, it is a wand of cure wounds.
Ooh.
It has 7 charges. It does not require attunement. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast cure wounds from it using your spellcasting ability modifier or your wisdom if you don't have a spellcasting ability. For 1 charge, you cast the first level version of the spell. You can increase the spell slot by 1 for each charge you expend. The wand gains 1d6 plus 1 charges daily at dawn, but if you expend the last charge on a 1, it crumbles to ash and is destroyed.
Since I gave up my hand axes, how long does it take to get back to the campsite, approximately, in dream time?
It takes... How long it took you to get here felt like hours, maybe days. And how long it takes back, but each time you look up, the phase of the moon hasn't
It's the
changed.
same. Would it give you enough time to potentially, on the way, bond with my
Yep.
other blade,
Yep.
my battle axe? Sorry.
Mhm.
So now I got both my battle
Yeah.
axes.
You have time to
The
bring your genie
Zoogs
back?
invite you to partake of their curious moon tree wine, and you can all take a short rest with them if you wish.
And while we take the short rest, I show them my book to the
Yeah.
elders.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I do.
I'm going to give the plant growth scroll. They will love it.
No, I need other dice for that. Other dice.
Well, as you finish up with the Zoogs, they lead you back, and towards the campsite. It seems that several of the younger Zoogs, as you progress following the other set of footsteps, continue to follow you with curious interest.
What did,
Do y'all want to come along with us?
The Zoogs flutter and hide when you talk to them.
Well,
these are the enemies of Bruce.
They seemed nice enough to me.
If they get too close, he may destroy them.
for your own safety, you may not want to come with us, but we appreciate you bringing us back to the camp. And I throw a few rations into the
Okay.
into the woods.
I
As
do
you-
not wish to anger Bruce.
As you continue towards the other path, that's where we'll take our break. And we are back from our short rest. We have finished our consumables and restocked on potions. And now we're back into the woods, where our heroes trace their way back towards the campsite. You all roll the d6 during the break. What did you get?
1.
2.
4.
Rudy, as you walk through the woods over these countless hours, once in a while the woods appear to resemble the forests around Tierhaven. And here and there, you think that, you know that way where the village just kind of appears around the corner in the forest, just you're getting through at the end of the night, and you're walking through that forest path, and then all of a sudden, there's the town and the lights. That's the feeling. And then each time that feeling ends, you step towards, and out of the glimmer in the distance, you see your home burned to the ground. You see the taverns, but destroyed and abandoned. Or once in a while, you can hear the laughter of your family, which sometimes turns to crying, and once in a while to screams.
Boys, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm feeling really uneasy here.
Oh, I'm definitely seeing what you're seeing. These fruits are glowing and they're bizarre.
No, that is bizarre. But I mean, I'm seeing home. But I'm seeing it in not a great way. I'm hearing voices, laughter, and then crying. My family. You guys don't hear that, do you?
Rudy, you have to focus on this moment.
How am I supposed to focus when I hear my family crying?
Remember what Bruce said, that if your mind wanders, it could manifest.
Your family is safe. They are in a far
Are they?
away-
I haven't seen them in, gods knows how long, and I haven't heard from him in a while. And what if the Silver Order got there and take my grandkids like the Academy said? You know, they're the ones that put this into my mind.
The Academy will protect them. And we have time before the Illyrians show up. I don't know what's happening in this place. This world is weird and changing. Creatures I don't understand and things that manifest from fears and dreams. But you followed me in here, both of you. And we're on some errand to find a unicorn. And you both came willingly. Rudy, I won't let anything happen to your family.
All right.
Whether it's the Academy that protects them or it's me, do not be afraid.
Just maybe do me a favor and keep reminding me that they're all right. And can you do that little thing you do and put pictures in people's minds? I don't know if that'll keep me head on the ground, you know.
Can I communicate with Rudy in her mind, but just try to use pictures?
Sure.
So I can do a picture of like the town and it's very simple, and there's like ducks waddling by and people are drinking and laughing, and there's a pie eating contest going on.
Like one of the meditation apps, but in my mind.
Yeah. And so I'm just walking behind you, and I'm just like slowly like moving my.
All right, that's better. All right.
Okay. Wrath, give me an Arcana check.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
17.
Okay. Rudy, make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
11.
Soothed by Wrath's images, as you continue through the forest, back towards the campsite, crossing in front of the three of you, is this flock of waddling ducks.
Oh.
Ducks are out again.
And are they huge or are they small? Are they like normal sized ducks?
They're normal ducks.
I get confused. Rudy, the ducks are out again. We have to get the ducks back before the duck feast.
As you watch the ducks cross, Wilhelm, when you look up, the rider is in the road ahead of you,
How far?
just on the edge of the horizon.
I start running.
You're right. Get the ducks. Let's go.
I trip past the ducks.
No!
Out of my way, ducks!
As you
There's
run
no time.
to
Grab
catch
a
up
duck.
with the rider, by the time you run and you run and you run, give me a Constitution saving throw.
3.
If you feel like if you push hard, maybe you could catch him, but you'll risk exhausting yourself if you do so.
I keep running.
Okay, give me another Constitution saving throw.
We're going to use the other die. 13.
You do not gain a level of exhaustion, but you also do not catch the rider before he disappears from sight.
He was just here.
It feels like after you run, you are alone in the wood.
Rudy? Wrath? Oh.
There they are.
Oh.
Sorry, we were just catching the ducks. You
Really
ran
quiet. I
real
was just
fast.
being really quiet.
I thought I lost you. You know, I ran, and then I turned around and you weren't there.
I
Yeah,
figured there was
Wilhelm, it felt
something
like you were alone for about 11 days.
It's been 84 years. Or 11 days. You know, time is really messed up. It felt like I was alone for 11 days?
Yeah.
You just ran ahead. We caught up to
Where
you
were
fairly-
you?
Did it feel like 11 days for us?
No.
You left me here.
You were up, ran up the road for,
You just started running.
30 seconds. It's not that.
You're not a wolf.
Your mustache.
It's been 11 days.
It's the same.
You're... Did the moon change?
It's okay.
The moon is
okay.
the same as it was 30 seconds ago.
Rudy, you look old.
I know, but I look fantastic and young.
Right.
It's been like a week and a half. Like this. Like let's just.
Trust me, I have looked older. You know this.
This is very confusing for me. I don't like it here. I've been alone in the woods for 11 days. I counted. I look, and there's a tree with 11 marks in it from a dagger. And a small little campfire.
Time works really weird around here, I guess.
I ate some mushrooms I found on the ground.
I mean, that's my.
Yeah, it's on you at that point.
You.
It got really strange.
How about we just don't eat no more mushrooms around here?
What was I supposed to do? Not eat? If it's a dream, do I not need to...
Exactly.
Oh.
You can literally imagine that your stomach is full. Like you imagine that you don't have this eye patch anymore.
Does that work?
You realize that, like, in those 11 days, you didn't sleep. But you're not tired.
I went looking for you. I wandered. I
Yeah,
searched
you
the
wandered
air.
up the path and we came and walked with these ducks.
We shouldn't
Yeah,
separate, not again.
No.
I have an idea. If you can make ducks,
I don't know if I can make ducks.
and you can imagine 11 days of being alone, what if we manifest the unicorn? We put our heads together and we think of Charlemagne.
Now, I look over at you, have a duck.
Under, like, my arm, yeah. 'Cause the ducks were real, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah, the
have
ducks
one.
were real.
It's very soft.
I pet the duck. Could
Come,
work.
sit.
This duck is the only real thing to me right now. I'm petting it on its head.
It's like a comfort. It's a comfort duck.
Comfort duck. Yeah.
Are there more?
No, they're
That
out
was
of here.
days ago. That was days ago, man.
I kept this one. Its name is Daisy.
Daisy,
Daisy.
let us manifest a unicorn.
I start drawing circles in the ground. I find the nearest place, and I just start frantically drawing circles and runes. Some that I would use to commune with Bruce. Some that I would use to speak with animals.
Mm.
And I start drawing unicorns in the middle. And I quickly, like, and sort of frantically kind of usher you to sit in, like, the three of us around this circle.
I do want to note that at this point I have a big bushy blonde beard and scraggly hair. Like
Dude.
He doesn't.
no, I believe it.
You made
Oh, yeah, so it would manifest, yeah. Yep.
And as the elder one,
Yes,
lead us.
in finding a unicorn.
Think of Charlemagne. Picture Charlemagne in your mind. And I'm going to try to again place it in myself, in my mind and in theirs. Just the same picture of this unicorn, this creature that's been described to us by the Druids, that we've read about, that everyone's talked about. They've told us where it is. They've told us that it's trapped here.
What if I don't know what he looks like?
You know what a unicorn looks like. It's a steak and
Yeah,
a
but that's
horse.
like saying that I know what a person like.
Just imagine
I
a
know what
horse
humans.
with a horn.
Yeah,
coming
but
out
all
of it.
horses are individuals.
Are you really fighting me on this? right now? Just
Generic unicorn. Let's go.
Just let Raph pick. He'll put it into your mind.
All
It's
right.
fine.
just imagine, I want you to focus and trying to put that unicorn energy out there.
There is a creaking and a rustling around you as you focus and fixate on the drawings that you have made. Give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh.
17.
Okay. As you focus and fixate on this path that you've thought of, Bruce eyes what you are doing and says, "Look behind you." Upon the hill behind you, cresting over the trees, is the old tower that you lived in Tear Haven.
I make my way to it quickly.
Do we see it?
Yeah.
The tower, it's drawing me. It's speaking to me.
Let's go see if there's a unicorn.
You race up the familiar ridge in a dreamlike haze to where the ramshackle tower, almost in a state of disrepair, far worse than you even found it in the first place. Scrawled across the tower are drawings of unicorns. There is a muttering voice within.
Are there windows?
There's a door, there's the stairs that lead up
Yeah.
to the tower, and then there's the windows on the upper floors.
I enter in the front door, and I attempt to find the source of the muttering.
There is an ancient and wizened man tending the fireplace in the tower. He is completely bald, and his eyes are closed. He wears a frayed purple robe, and he is muttering. All around him are drawings of unicorns.
I'm going to inspect some of them. Is it just like the same unicorn drawn over and over again?
Different drawings of unicorns. There are drawings of unicorns on the wall, some in charcoal, some in pen, some in blood. Unicorns are written all around. And arcane, so in some places different arcane runes. Some of the pieces of paper put together all form a single unicorn drawing.
Wrath, I think this man is mad.
I think this is me.
Oh.
I think in this world, thinking of unicorns will lead me to a place where all I can do is think of unicorns. We cannot think of unicorns.
We just have to find a unicorn then.
We're wasting time. We need to get back on our trail. We need to we need to not give in to these dreams.
Causing us to get off our path.
I thought, yes. Thought I found a way. This shows me my future. If I spent the next 100 years drawing unicorns. It's a fulfilling life, but it is not the life I want.
Years old? How old do you think you're gonna live?
Well, maybe more.
Sir, how old are you?
The man creaks out, "Have you seen my
Yeah, he's right over there, actually.
And as he groans, the man's skin begins flaking away until nothing remains but a skeleton that collapses to the ground.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'd say about 100 years.
Yeah, maybe right on.
I say we go back to the road.
We may not manifest this unicorn this way.
No.
This is awful.
Using the tower
That's
as a
true.
lookout, I'm sort of frustrated. In a frustrated sort of turn of events, I'm going to go into the deck of the tower and try to look out and see if I can get a sort of a lay of the surrounding area.
You walk to the top of the tower, and as you do, the land stretches out to you like it stretches, and almost as you breathe, the land breathes with you, stretching in and out. What is very far away becomes very near again. In fact, looking from the tower now, the direction is of the vortex of energy in the sky is correspondingly now on the opposite direction that you were traveling, because Tierhaven is southwest of Drakkenheim, whereas Lake Dre is to the east. And so you've teleported to whatever's happened. You're now on the other side.
And much further.
No, we need to go back and try to get that magical axe.
You've been to Drakkenheim.
What?
Wait, is it closer or further away?
It's a long time ago.
What do you remember?
I mean, it was before the meteor. It was, beautiful stone streets, and the buildings were grand. It was much nicer than Kesselholm. It was, Kesselholm was always a pretty dreary place with old castle, but Drakkenheim had grandeur and opulence. I used to enjoy visiting there. It was, trips with my father for business. They would give me a script. I had to say speeches at dinners, and
As you speak, a carriage pulls up. It has the Von Kessel crest on it and is pulled by 4 white horses. There is a coachman in the Von Kessel livery driving it.
oh, my coach has arrived. I open the door to the coach and go to get in.
I opened the door for you.
It's a royal treatment,
I-
Your
I-
Majesty.
I immediately switch. I have forgotten what we're doing. Thank you, court wizard.
You step into the coach, and sitting in the coach, as the coach door closes, is your father.
Dad, it's so good to see you. I feel like it's been a while.
Yes, well, we'll be heading down to the capital to speak with my brother. There's a bit of business that we'll be attending to while we're there.
Yes, sir. What are my duties?
I need to tell you something sad. I have some news. Your cousin, Leonard, will be marrying one Eris Jackson, Caspia.
But that doesn't make sense.
I understand. Yes, yeah,
There are rules for this.
there are, but this is at your uncle's insistence.
I mean,
We are... the wedding will be a private affair. We will be attending. We will only be in the city for a brief time, and then we will be heading back to Kessel.
I'm to attend the wedding?
We are expected to be there.
I thought that there were arrangements. I thought,
The arrangements have changed. Sorry, son.
Very well. I will attend. It is my duty, and I will seek other arrangements. I'm sorry if I've let the family down.
The carriage continues in silence for some time.
Are we in?
I'm just looking at
Yeah.
the window. I'm just
Oh,
trying to
we're
look at
in-
the window
you're-
and not.
Yeah.
I go. I kind of nudge you and I say, what kind of arrangements? Were you gonna marry someone?
It was, yeah, there was to be a wedding. I thought it was going well. Maybe I was wrong. I loved her.
The carriage begins to creak and rot. A line appears on the neck of Wilhelm's father. Blood seeps out from it, and the head falls from the neck in a spurt of blood and lands in his lap.
It's nothing. It is only what you give it power.
The head is on the ground.
I push open the door and shove the dead body and head out. And I say, it's not.
Do you want to?
It's not
she's
real.
Going, okay, she's going to do this.
Yeah.
Do you want to react to her as she's starting to do this?
I try to stop her.
Okay, the two of you can make. We're gonna make an opposed grapple check, so it's athletic. Whatever is higher, athletics or acrobatics against each other.
Ooh. 23.
30.
Rudy goes to push body out. Wilhelm, you grasp your father's head and lock eyes with the head. And it looks you dead in the eyes, blood seeping out of its mouth. And it says, "Avenge me."
I will.
Wrath, can you get inside his head?
And I'm gonna try to hit the head out of the carriage. It's just a dream.
All right. How are you gonna hit the head out?
I shoot it with an Eldritch Blast.
All right, make an attack roll.
I got a 13.
The head explodes in a shower of bone fragments, and and left behind in Wilhelm's hands is a bloody crown.
Oh.
What does he love? The barn. I go back to the barn. We're going back to the barn. We're going to the barn.
No.
We're going to the barn. You're in the barn.
Okay,
You're sleeping
you can
on
make
it.
a wisdom saving throw. Well,
I get a 1. No, not in this moment. I'm not. I'm letting it happen.
Wilhelm, you are going to take
Yeah, it makes sense. This all checks out.
20 points of psychic damage. And you are insane and screaming for the next. It feels like 6 hours of time.
Yep.
As the and as Wilhelm shudders, the crown turns to rust and flakes of rust blow away.
I don't attempt to kill him, but I put my hands around Wrath's throat and momentarily.
Rudy, what do you do as this happens?
Are we there yet? Are we there? Are we in Drakkenheim yet?
I do like a chokehold on him, like around his neck.
You killed my
The barn! The barn! You're in a barn!
Rudy, make an athletics check again.
17.
Wilhelm, you can make one more.
acrobatics.
Acrobatics or athletics.
28.
He wriggles free and is
How are you so strong?
and in the process, actually, Rudy, you get jostled around and you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
I elbow you in the nose.
I'm bleeding.
I need to avenge him.
You will.
It's all been taken from me.
You're not gonna do it in a dream, though. You're gonna do it for real.
Remember Drakkenheim. This is the place. This is the place.
Where
Remember
am
the
I?
smell.
Where am I?
Remember the smell.
The smell of Drakkenheim?
Yeah, what does it smell like?
Isn't it disgusting?
Kind of. Sewage, mostly. Where are we? Where? This isn't real.
We're in a dream carriage.
You're bleeding.
You made me bleed.
Oh, God.
You're so strong in your insanity.
Why can't I be that strong in real life?
Well, I mean, as long as you've got some sense back in you, and don't worry. Remember, this isn't real.
I don't think we should take the carriage to Drakkenheim.
Why?
It's giving me bad vibes.
All right, out the door. I knock on like the top for it to stop,
Do that.
I would like out of the carriage now.
and I say, "Out!" Usher you out. Out, out, out. All right, no more magical carriages.
Before it even
with
comes to a stop, we're out of the carriage. We're pushing Wilhelm out.
magical fathers, the heads come off without chopping them, and
I'm really sorry I blew your dad's head up. I did not.
Well,
Realized-
I didn't need to have that happen in my life. Like, that wasn't something I needed. Right?
aggressively stroking the ducks. You know, like,
Oh, the duck's gone. It got thrown out of the carriage during the whole kerfuffle.
what am I gonna do without my support duck?
I'm on the ground crying. Rudy's yelling for Daisy.
All I can think is unicorns. All I can think about is unicorns.
Yep.
You look up from the ground upon the ancient and imperial gates of Drakkenheim.
We're here.
We made it.
Are you okay?
No. 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 Are you? Are you okay?
I don't feel good about what happened.
I mean,
I'm sorry that I subjected you to such visual terror.
I lost myself. I forgot that we were dreaming. It was very real.
So real.
And that was a moment that I've been there. That wasn't a dream, that was a memory until the head falling off and you blowing it up in my hands. That was when it got weird, but you two experienced your house was burning down. That's never happened.
My family was crying. My
Why?
family's always jovial.
I mean, my nightmares are often about things from my past. I have enough incidences in my past to fill my head with nightmares, so perhaps that was just the incarnation of one of my many terrible memories, but twisted.
And I mean, you never. Well, maybe you were much younger when you spoke to your father that way, but
No, I slipped into a very different Wilhelm there. I don't remember him very much, but there was a time.
well, this place is really giving us a go of it, but we made it to this swirling nexus of dreamy doom.
I guess let's go find a unicorn.
And get the heck out of here as soon as we can.
Thank you for trying.
No. I saw myself. I saw my future. Alone. There was no Bruce. Only muddled thoughts and a decaying, decrepit old man. Not able to put together a sentence. If that is my path, then it's all for nothing.
It is not your, it's just a nightmare.
That won't be.
And then I tried to fix it. I tried to force my dreams to make them reality, but I am not in control here.
None of us are. And we need to take that into account. We are not in control here. Things can change. And they will change to match our fears, our nightmares, our dreams. But they are not reality. And we need to remember that. I'm saying this for myself as well. I got lost.
Not just that. We need to help each other remember it. We need to watch each other's backs and make sure that if we see something going on, we're not encouraging it. We're getting each other out of that space. That mindset. Like Wrath you did for me.
Nothing good will come of it. We must find what we're here for and leave.
All right. Shall we head in?
Very well.
Do you know the way?
So where are we going?
Yeah.
You stand before. There was this moment where you looked up, and it was like the walls of the city were stretching higher than you could fathom above you. Now, looking around your surroundings again, you are at the edge of the western side of the city, where a strange sight befalls you. You see a dark and twisted city that extends that reaches up with spires like spear points around a rocky crag upon which sits Castle Draken. Stretching on into the night sky from the south end of the city is a swirling vortex of energy in a color that defies description. Through it, like spiraling echoes that extend to infinity, you see impossible vistas in fractal patterns, spiraling out of control. You see the Academy Tower reaching up over the city, intact. It is not broken through the middle as it is in the real world. You see the tower, the domes of the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio, and the gates, the castle, and the other buildings. The other buildings appear intact. There's no rubble or ruin. and formless shades bustle and shift and walk throughout the city. An echo in the distance, the sounds and smells of the city fills your ears and eyes. But they are but shades here in the shadows of Drakkenheim. Roll credits! Yeah.
We're not actually rolling credit.
No, we're not actually rolling credits.
Kyle,
Sorry, Kyle.
Bring it back.
That is what you see.
Well, do we know in the city where the unicorn went?
Looking at, there was, the whole vortex and cascade, does it seem to be centering to a point in Drakkenheim?
There is a weave of energy coming from the castle, and the other from the spot where the crater would be. But in this world, while that vortex of energy sweeps around the city, there's no sign of a crater.
It appears we're either heading to the South Ward or the castle. If that seems to be the focus point of these energies, either one. I mean, I know the city. I was here years ago, but that doesn't help us know where the unicorn was. Could be anywhere.
And where are we in the city right now?
You are on the western side of the city.
So like Shepherd's Way?
The eastern side of the city, near King's Gate.
What is this other point? Where this other vortex is?
The
Why?
South Ward?
Yeah.
From my knowledge, that's about where the impact site was for Drakkenheim. That would be knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, that's common knowledge.
Yeah, I knew that too. I was just testing.
It's okay, I read different books than you.
Yeah, mostly because you read. Then could the unicorn... Would anything survive where the crater is?
You know more about delirium than me. If there's that amount of from what I've seen from a sliver of delirium, I'd be hesitant.
Not a hint of delirium in sight.
I meant in the mortal world, if these two places are tied.
Where would it most likely be that he was summoned?
If we were going to pick two places to go, where they are in the South Ward and the castle, could anything survive in the mortal world, in the crater?
That's a good
A
question.
unicorn. Could a unicorn survive?
Say the castle. Rule number 92, listen to your gut. There's the weird vortex over the South Ward. That castle off in the distance looks, like an appropriate place for magical mishaps abound.
We could also go to the Mage's Tower. The Amethyst Academy's tower could be a place to...
Again, I'm basing this purely on these vortexes. If you know something more, that would
No.
lead us to the Academy Tower.
Just for...
You just want to visit some mages.
I gotta mark it off on my Mage Tower
Have
bingo.
you ever been to the Academy Tower?
No.
The inscrutable Tower of Drakkenheim?
No, the place where I trained was different from there.
That's a shame. I was never myself allowed in. There was not really many dealings with the Amethyst Academy. It was mostly at the castle, but it was a sight to behold in its day.
I may have stepped foot in it once, but I may not have known.
Weird.
It's just how... It's a lot of portals.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, given what you know about other Academy strongholds, that the Academy Tower is inaccessible from this side of reality.
Oh.
And so, given the fact that it's intact here, suggests, because every Academy stronghold is warded in some way, shape, or form against extraplanar incursion. And given that the tower appears intact here, it's possible that it may be somehow there's some sort of remnant of that ward in
The
effect,
gates are still up.
right? At least in this side of reality. It's entirely possible, and in fact likely, given what you've heard of this, that this might be the only part of reality. Like, there could be other realities or other dimensions where that's not the case, but whatever wards still remain in effect here, at least given that it is intact in that way. So it might be difficult. It might certainly not be impossible, because bear in mind, you also have your Academy rings. So those would allow you access in theory.
Well, then I must trust you. The castle.
The other distinct possibility is the Academy Tower was taken back by the mages, so it's entirely possible that this is a ward that was repaired.
against.
We have limited time before you turn into a werewolf. All I'm saying
I
is
keep forgetting.
we can vacate. I mean, I don't want a vacation to Drakkenheim, but if you'd really like to see the tower,
No, it was just an idea of maybe where this unicorn might fled to or hide, but
there is logic there. The tower is probably an apex of magical anomalies. So do we follow the cascading tendrils of octarine light in the sky leading us to the castle? Or do we follow the concept of the Amethyst Academy possibly messing with things that they shouldn't have, and thus locking a unicorn in the space between realms?
let's go to the castle.
We start there, and if we need to check them out, you know.
Let's just do a grand tour of Drakkenheim. What a vacation this is.
If it's anything as dangerous here as it is in the real world, we must be on our guard.
What concerns me is so far every location we've gone to in this realm is far more dangerous than it is in our realm. Drakkenheim being one of the most dangerous places I've ever read about in my life, and have been actively avoiding it. It seems fitting that after all this time avoiding it, we end up here in the dream realm where it is more dangerous.
So do you want to lead us
Yep,
You know the way?
let's go.
Yep.
And I march.
You head down the King's Road through the shadowed streets of Drakkenheim towards the King's Gate. A gate that you had entered many times in your own life, for this was the gate that the Von Kessels used exclusively to enter Drakkenheim.
Makes sense.
Right? As you do, each of you can roll me a d6.
Welcome to Drakkenheim.
3.
2.
5.
Okay.
I'm due for one.
As you walk along the main roads, there is the gates of King's Gate are open, and you walk through the gate towards the main square, towards from here. You usually travel through Slaughterstone Square and then up Castle Road up the winding path towards Castle Draken itself.
It's a pretty easy path. We just cut through Slaughterstone Square and we'll get right there.
Why do they call it?
Oh, that's where the executions happen, but they probably don't happen there anymore.
Long pause.
Let's not think about executions as we walk through a dream world of Drakkenheim, please.
Yeah, I mean...
The executioner was a great construct. It was beautiful. Expert craftsmanship.
No.
Ducks,
I need you to reel it in. You gotta just focus on the city.
I mean,
focus
a
on the
meteor
castle.
hit the city. It's probably...
focus.
The executioner doesn't even exist anymore. It was probably obliterated.
Okay, Wilhelm, I need you to reel it in. I need you to focus.
Sorry, you don't want to hear the lore of Drakkenheim. I know lots. I can show you the Kleinberg estates. We're going to be passing by them. They're beautiful.
You can mention it.
As you come along the road and enter the square, there is... The shadows here take the form of a shuffling mass of spirits. You see in the square, there is a massive rusted suit of armor by the dower, resting in the center fountain of Slaughterstone Square. Massive rusted suit of armor. All around it, fluttering and flitting about, are hundreds of these shades, many of them bearing grievous wounds upon their bodies as they high steepled rooftops look down dourly upon the square. The ruins of the old administration building amongst the center of them. You see brief faces. Each face in the square is awash with horror. You see faces of men, women, people who were not garbed like townsfolk, but those wearing the garb of the Hooded Lanterns. Others, the spirits of adventurers. Curiously still, wandering around the square is the ghost-like form of a massive creature. Its face like a snarling hyena, and it walks through the square picking up arrows to fill an empty quiver that that never fills. The rusted suit of armor creaks and collapses as you walk through the square. The spirits pay it no mind.
As I said, destroyed. Not an issue.
Good.
The old saying goes, when you're in Drakkenheim, you should always visit Slaughterstone Square.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great...
Is that what they say?
Yes, the marvel of this beautiful suit. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I feel like we might be losing focus. We must find...
I'm giving you a play by as we walk through.
I appreciate the
I've
flavor.
heard the stories in my days in the army. I am not convinced.
I'm pretty sure it was dwarven make. I might be wrong on that. Somebody gifted it to the city. But still, it was a marvel of construction. It was nothing like this had ever been seen before.
Construction of death?
Well, yeah, for the executions that the city held, that was quite a normal thing. Your city didn't hold executions for criminals.
I mean, normally it's just kind of like duck stealing that happens in Tearhaven. It's not that we need to execute people over.
Yeah.
You small town folk may not have... glorious day, the day of the hangings, you know?
These usually actually beheadings.
Oh, right.
Typically, yeah.
There is no glory in beheading.
No, you're right. Hangings, brutal thing. We don't do that anymore. Instead, we chop people's heads off much quicker.
You follow the cobblestone road north towards Castle Draken. This the road gently slopes up, to get to Castle Draken perches atop a 200-foot tall cliff. And there are 3 gates that wind up this pathway that leads up to it. The lower gate, the cliff gate, and the upper gates. Each gate has a pair of bastion towers and a portcullis, which are all open as you proceed through them, unbarred and unguarded. And still the banners bear a shifting array of sigils. Some of them show the banners of the Von Kessels, but you recognize that some of the banners here in the Echoes of Dreamland, Wilhelm, bear the crests of the previous dynasties.
The Von Drakens.
The Von Drakens are among them, but there were several dynasties between the Von Drakens and the Von Kessels. So while there is tangentially there is some family relation between all of them. The signs, and generally everyone who ruled Drakkenheim usually took some variation of the dragon and the castle as their crest. It was just that it would have different designs each time, and place focus in a different area. So while the Von Kessels is the towers of Drakkenheim flanked by 2 dragons on either side, some of the previous dynasties would just feature the dragons in some way, shape, or form. So it was kind of with the Von Kessels that the castle and the dragons got put together.
Did you know there used to be dragons here?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like real dragons?
Yeah. Hence the 2 dragons on all of the flags.
Wow.
Yeah.
You make your way up to the upper gate, which rises as you approach. Portcullis lifts its way up.
It lifts?
Yeah.
That must be for you.
Are we expected? I mean, we're not slipping into another dream, are we?
I'm sure we're manifesting this in some way.
I think you are. You are remembering the city. You are embracing what is rightfully yours. The city is responding to you in this dream world. You are living it. We do not force these dreams, but when we allow them to breathe.
Kesselholm is mine. This place is deserted, decrepit, and it belongs to no one.
It belongs to you if you would take it.
I wish not. One thing at a time.
Think about it.
Here in the lower courtyard, as the gates lift up, there is an overgrowth of trees inside the courtyard. There were never trees here before.
Perhaps they planted some after the meteor fell? That doesn't make sense.
Or the Druids.
The Druids. Trees.
They could.
It's not a forest worth of trees, just several large trees. About 6 of them in all.
How many Druids are we looking for? Is it 6?
I didn't count.
I didn't count either.
I didn't count. The
When
bodies
you were in the
the
barrows, there were at least there was about 8 people that were still alive at the time, but there were more corpses than that there, right?
Do the trees, before I enter the courtyard, I'm going to do the trees seem unusual in any way? Or are they just pretty, like, other than the fact we're in a dream world? Are
They are all different trees. One is a birch. One is a pine. One is an oak. One is a beech tree. One is a fir tree. and another is a weeping willow.
Oh, you did it. I didn't even know if I could name 6 trees. I was like, do I know 6 different kinds of trees? Yeah, cool.
Maple.
Maple. I have a maple tree anyway. Spruce.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, I could probably name a lot of trees.
probably-
Just when you were
Go
like
for it.
6
Yeah.
different trees, I was like,
Yeah,
name
You can name a
6
bunch of like
different trees.
vegetable ones, like apple trees,
All right.
like
Yeah.
fruit trees.
Oh man, this is easy. Name
And
6 different trees.
Like pears.
The trees, curiously, despite their species, many of the trees are bearing nuts or fruit. And there are 2 gardeners traveling between the trees with a ladder. And they go up to each tree and they are picking the fruits from the trees.
Are they shades or are they...
No, they look like 2 humans, a man and a woman. They're garbed like peasants, like peasant farm folk. And the 2 of them are going between the trees with a ladder and a basket. And the man climbs the ladder, takes down a few of the fruits from one of the trees. They're curious fruits. Again, these are not normally trees that you would expect to have fruit. And picks the fruits and carries them down. Even the pine tree, like it's like weird alien pine cones.
Should I talk to them?
They may know the whereabouts of the unicorn.
Say their first start, for sure.
Pardon me.
As you approach, there are faces in the trees made of bark.
I address the trees. Hello.
The woman says, "Hello! Welcome to our orchard."
We're here on business. I am Wilhelm von Kessel, and I've come to seek audience in the castle. This orchard, has it been here long? I don't remember it on my last visit.
The 2 look over at the castle like it's a surprise to them that it was even there.
Uh-oh.
Castle? Nobody goes to the castle.
I thought I could fool them. Interesting.
Have you seen a mythical creature? It is a unicorn. He is our friend.
You must be dreaming, friend. No such creatures here.
Oh, maybe you've seen some of our other friends. I don't know how to say his name. McWraith? McWraith?
The name, one of the trees gasps. Oh! Just this barky groan, and it lets out like half a heaving syllable, and the at that there is the elderly woman takes her hand and slaps her hand over the face of the oak tree.
Well, I mean,
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He's become a complainer in his old age.
I mean, that was quite rude, I think so. I think you better let that tree speak.
Trees speak nonsense. They have nothing to say. They are our plants.
What were some of the other names?
I mean, they either speak nonsense or they don't speak at all. What is it?
The man says, "These are our trees. This is our orchard. These trees are ours to tend, and their fruits are ours to farm.
Druid Yole Mule. I think I read that.
What was the name of all the Druids as a collective? Were the Druids of who?
Maleki.
Druids of Maleki.
Maliki.
Maliki.
Maliki, yeah.
Druids of Maliki, are you here?
Another one of the faces on the trees gasps. goes the beech tree, and the willow begins to weep and whine, tears of sap reaching down her face.
How can we help?
The old man becomes stern, and he says, "That's quite enough.
No, that's quite enough.
These trees are ours. They have bargained with us for their lives, and now the fruit of their dreams is ours. We slake our hunger upon their memories, and slake our thirst upon their despair. Trouble them not, lest ye wish to join them."
We have met others like you. One, the Night Hunter. You feast on these creatures, on their thoughts and their dreams, while their flesh rots.
The woman. "And you, dreamer, will join them soon. Leave now with your dreams, or we will plant your mind here."
And I take up my axes and I say, I'm used to chopping off heads. But you know what, boys? Let's chop down some trees to save these druids.
Well, with that, before we roll for initiative, that's where we'll wrap up.
Cool.
Because, unfortunately, I don't think we got time for a combat encounter. So we'll get to that tomorrow, the next time. But what a wild ride through Dreamland it's been.
Oh, man.
Thank you very much, as always, to our amazing cast, Jill, Kelly, and Joe, for playing tonight.
And a huge thank you to Kyle for all of the amazing work he's doing behind the scenes, letting us know when things are not going well. And a huge thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Martin. Great descriptions tonight. Great dream world.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So good.
And in our game tonight, we use a variety of incredible assets produced by talented artists, and you can use them at your games too. And we encourage you to check out and support some of these amazing creators. We have the Dwarven Forge with miniatures by WizKids and Hero Forge. The player character artwork that you see is by Jeremy Cole, and the music by Tabletop Audio. So please, please, please check it out so you can have this at your game table too.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes teachers, including Yes, 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 the Dusk Wardens, and Way Bigger Than Ducks. And keep an eye out for some new ones coming soon. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Our videos and live streams are made possible thanks to the generous support of our Patreon community. If you enjoy our work, please consider checking us out on Patreon and becoming a patron of our show. You can find it by following the links in the description below, or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community that is exclusive for our patrons. So you can join us on Discord and chat with us about all things D&D, all things Drakkenheim. You can chat with us about video games or TV shows or what we like to eat for dinner. Really anything. Sky's the limit. But come hang out. Come join us.
Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for DMs. Check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
And be sure to join us live next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also listen to it as an audio-only podcast as well on your favorite podcast platforms.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time in the Shadows of Drakkenheim.